Welcome back to my channel. Konnichiwa. I'm Mark from Wandering Souls, coming at you with a new update. This is of course an old Japanese video, as you could probably read in the title, or have the idea that it's all Japanese. So yeah, I'm gonna show you a bunch of Japanese bands here. I have some mixed bag here, CDs, a DVD and a tape here in the stack. So it's kind of a thing of everything. Let's crack open a beer here. This is not Japanese, sadly, but it's German. It's also really good. It's Warsteiner. This is an alcohol-free one. So, but it's okay. It's pretty decent. So, kanpai. Before we go into the update, you're listening to Saki and Naru, great Japanese bands. This is their album Chitsu. Go check it out if you haven't heard this. Good stuff, definitely experimental stuff, but it's really good. Two-piece, a male and a female, and they do some wonderful things. Let's get the tape first. The first thing is from Vow Wow, and this is a live release from 1987, and it's just simply called Live, and it's this tape. This was released in 1987. Everybody remembers the band Bow Wow. Bow Wow is, you could say, the 80s period of Bow Wow when they lived in London. A really nice live tape. There were two versions from this. A Japanese version, and actually two Japanese versions, a test press and a Japanese version regularly, and an English version. That's what this is. It comes in a really nice blue case here. That's really cool. Fits really good with the elm art here. And this is nice white shell here. Picked this up online for really cheap. I thought, yeah, I must have this. I think I paid $5 or something for this, so it's not really expensive. Really nice. It's definitely, this is stuff that was not released a lot. There were probably vinyl versions of this, but tape versions there were only 3. Yeah, but really glad to have this. Really nice live recording, great live songs. The track listing is here, so maybe you can read that. That's the track listing. So yeah, awesome stuff. I'm really glad to have it. Vow Wow with Live. Next up are 2 CDs from Scandal. Scandal is you could say a pop rock band from Japan. Of course. I have the 2 last ones they did here. I have Mirror from 2022, and I have Kiss from the Darkness, which is from 2020. Let's take the newest one first. Really more on the poppy side on this album. This is definitely less rock. Maybe I should turn on a light here. Sorry for the interruption here. I thought the light was kind of shitty, so hey, I'm missing something. But this is their latest release. It's more on the poppier side. Has released a lot of singles from this as well. I think there are 5 or 6 singles from this album. So they did pretty well in Japan, and it's a pretty well known band. This is the JPU release, the UK version, of course. I really enjoy this album, but if I'm honest, I enjoy the other album a bit more because it's more on the rock side than this one. So here is the CD. And this is what is behind, and let's take a look at the booklet here. Long active bands, at least a lot of albums, and it's started pretty hard to get here. Only the last couple of albums are available here. This is on their own label, Her Records, in cooperation with JPU and one other label, I think, in Japan. But yeah, the last 2 are pretty well well to get, so I'm glad I have these. No Japanese lyrics here. 4-piece band. Most of the time one of the guitar players sing, but also 2 other members seem to sing so now and then. So here and there you hear another voice as well. So but yeah, really versatile and who is doing what. I don't know if there is a picture from the girls in here. I don't think so. Ah, there is. Here are the girls. As you guys can see, that's the band. So yeah, really cool stuff. Like I said, it's more on the popular side, but there are some decent tracks. So here, the title track is great. Wave is pretty interesting. I really enjoyed that track. And there were a few others from this album. Don't recall every side title because there are some titles in Japanese as well. So it is a bit harder for me to remember. And of course, it's a JPU release. You get a translation booklet as well. So that's really cool. Here are all the tracks in English. So that is really comes in handy here. So it's always well done by JPU. They think of the European customers. So yeah, I like this album. But if I'm to be honest, I like this album a bit more. It has a few songs on there that are more rock orientated, and that's what I like. Songs like Masterpiece, Saishu Heiki Kimi, I really like that one. Ceramic Blue, I like, and there was another one, AMDKJ, I really liked, and was it Babataki? I don't know for sure. I think those were the tracks I really enjoyed. But this is the front. And this album is pretty successful as well. A really thick booklet here. I don't know what their next step is, and I'm curious where this band goes. Will they go more the popular way, or do they experiment more, or go back to the rock? You never know with this band. But it's really well taken care of booklet here. Looks really good. And here are the girls again in a lot of flowers. Need a lot of flowers. Definitely need to get more of their older albums because I really like this band. So here they are again. And here are the English translations in the back. And here is some credits and stuff like that. And there's another page, there's another page there. So that's what the booklet looked like. I can't imagine if you like J-Rock that you don't came across this band, because this is a pretty well-known band. They are pretty successful. Scandal. I also did 1 or 2 reaction videos to them, and I really enjoyed that band. So yeah, let's take a look into these girls and let me know what you think, guys. If you are up to a more popular side of rock, this is definitely a thing to look into. Guys, ready? Are you ready? Cluppo! I also picked up the Cluppo EP Hatofull. Of course, this is Miku Kobato from Bandmate, her solo project. That's why I screamed Cluppo! Yeah, it's more poppy side as well, but it's a really interesting EP. I didn't expecting to like this, but it's more on the happier side. It has a lot of other influences in here, so that was really interesting. There were some rock influences, some swing influences, some bluegrass. Nah, don't gonna bluegrass. You got a bit jazzy, a bit more. Yeah, I can't really describe it. It's pretty hard she mixed a lot of styles, definitely in the last three songs. Um, it's a 6-track EP. The first three songs were singles, so being Peace and Love, Pogo, and Flapping Wings. Um, Maybe if you've seen him pass by or not, I don't know. There's also another single called With You, which was for a kind of an anime soundtrack or something. She also did that one. So she has 7 songs in total now. Maybe more, but she have at least more than that. Comes in an OBI, I don't know how you want to call it. And this is the front, and here we have Miku herself. Really colorful, really in contrast in what she is wearing in Bandmate. Definitely way different than the black and white from that band. Of course, comes with the CD here, and it's kind of a application ticket for something, I don't know, but it's already expired, so I don't have a lot on this. It was released last year, I think. And here you have the lyrics and a nice picture of her again. Really happy person. I really like Miku. She's really cool person. She's kind of weird in some places sometimes with the Cluppo and Paul and whatever. But keep in mind, this is a really clever girl. A really thought out franchise, let's put it that way. She definitely knows what she's doing. She's booking a lot of success with Bandmate, of course, but there's a lot of her doing as well. Not only for Konami, because Konami is the main writer in that band, but Miku is their lyricist. Let's put it that way. The speaks person. She's always does a lot of interviews, and maybe also Psyche does some. So that's cool to see. Miku is definitely the main person in Bandmate. And this is her own project. Like I said, this is very different, way more poppy, more electronic sounded music. But like in the last 3 songs, there's definitely some other things going on, like some swing things, like I said, some rock influences, and more of that kind of stuff. I think she plays the guitars on this album herself. Don't know who does the electronics, probably an unnamed keyboard player. And there's a drummer and a bass player. She does the lyrics on this one as well, of course. Kind of funny is Hatofull. This kind of Hato is the name for pigeon. So this actually this EP is called Pigeon Complete, something like that. And there's her expression there. Poh. This girl, she has that kind of a little pigeon character. Yeah, I can't explain that exactly how that came to be, but everybody calls her little pigeon, pork, bato, or whatever. So, anyways, pizza, and it's kind of funny is there's also some references with this album. The songs are not exactly straight about the other girls in Bandmate, but there's definitely a connection here in these songs. Peace and Love, for example, the happy tune, could point to Misa from Bandmate, because she always loved to wear those hippie clothes. And Peace and Love, hippie, that's one complete thing. And you got Pogo, which is definitely a pointer to Akane. Of course, you have Po and Go. That's the pigeon relation. But Pogo is also character or something Akane likes. But Go could also be a shortage for Gorilla, which is the nickname for Akane, because she always loved to eat bananas. That's kind of related, I think it is. And then they have Flapping Wings, of course, that would be herself because she's the pigeon. Then you have Fua Fua, which means fluffy fluffy. That could point to Kanami. Kanami is really the sweet one, the fluffy one, and also loves to eat cake. And cake is pretty fluffy. She's a tea and cake person, and coffee and tea, of coffee and cake. That kind of person Kanami is, and Fua Fua definitely has a connection there. Then of course we have voice. Well, that can no other be than Psyche, of course. That's the only point straight direction you can get. And then we have track 6, that is Superstar. And of course, Bandmate only have 5 members, so Superstar for, well, for success that Miku wants to obtain with Bandmate, of course, being a superstar. That's what she wants to do with world domination. That's the goal for Bandmate. They are hard on the way, but that's kind of a connection that there is in the songs. Maybe I'm going too long on this release, but that's I would just want to point it out. But I really enjoy this release. It's definitely no rock or metal, but if you're open for happy music, something different, this is definitely a nice background tune to cheer you up. Let's put it that way. Spread the peace, the love, you know. So if you want to try something different, try Cluppo. You might like it. Next up is a band I came to like more and more. Is a band called Bridear. A band also from Japan, of course. They did an album last year, Aegis of Athena, which is a fantastic album. Definitely need to grab that one someday. But after this year, they did a live album, the first live album from the band. This is Aegis of London live. Fantastic release. I was really surprised how good this is. Great live, good live feel, great songs. Yeah, I really enjoyed the guitar playing, the atmosphere that was on this album. I really love it. Fantastic stuff. Great live album. So that's the CD, and the booklet is looking like this. It's the band members. Great live performance. I was kind of surprised also with the growls in the songs that were done by the bass player, I think. Yeah, I think so. Let's see, what's her name? Haru, I think. Yeah, bass guitars, growl, background vocals. So Haru does that growling voice you hear now and then. So that's really cool. In contrast with Kimi's vocals, which of course are more sweeter. But really cool live performance. I really enjoyed it. I got this from Setsuzoku Records. So if you want to obtain this, this is the label. I think this is based in the US and London, so if you are European or American, it should be obtainable in Europe and America. I don't know what the distribution is in Japan. You have to look that up for yourselves, but I think probably Japan has that as well or something, I don't know. But fantastic release. It also came with some photos. I was really surprised that those were in the packet. Cool live photos from the girls, and they're really photos, so that's really cool. Definitely can tell. So that's fantastic. I love that kind of details. But yeah, that's awesome. It's an awesome release. I really enjoyed it. So definitely go look into this band, Bridear. It's kind of a heavy metal-ish sounding band, so then you know what that is. Next up, I have to hurry up because the time is ticking. Another great Japanese band. This is Coffins, and this is totally something different. This is some really rough, heavy death doom metal. So it's really completely different. Heavy growling, fuzzy bass and guitar riffs, really slow tempos here and there, a faster tempo to get you bang your head. But it's really interesting band. I have already a tape from these guys, but I found this CD in Tilburg and a record store called Sounds, and I couldn't resist to obtain this album, so I did. Great stuff. The regular album is on here from 2005. This album is called actually, what is the album called? Mortuary in Darkness. Don't gonna show you too much because there's some nudity in there. Maybe probably already showed it, but just in case. Yeah, really good stuff. Like the regular album is on there, like I said, and the last two tracks 8 and 9, are two live tracks they added because this is a reissue. But it's really cool stuff. Definitely take a look into this one, guys. Mortuary in Darkness by Coffins. If you like some heavy versus death doom, you can't go wrong here. Really great release, awesome stuff. And then have a reissue from a band that is actually from the 80s, and I was kind of surprised that this was reissued, and it is reissued by Relapse Records even, so that was really, I thought, well, what the you know, it's a band called G.I.S.M, and G.I.S.M was active in the 80s, and released two albums in 85 and 87, I think. This is their second one, called Military Analyzing Necrotic or something like that. Yeah, probably. I will leave that, of course, here. Maybe you can read it, maybe not. But this is their second album from 87. They came back in the 90s for a short while, and they never really performed live outside of Japan until 2016. They reformed and did a performance at the Roadburn Festival in Tilburg, Netherlands. That was really interesting, and after that, yeah, then it's kind of hard to get original bands together because two members died from this band, so and it's different lineup probably as well, but this is their second album from 1987. Came in this, strange enough, in a PVC sleeves, and I'm not really a fan of PVC sleeves, but I have to get this, let this on around this, because why? They printed, already having a hard time to get it out here. But if you look closely, put the skull in front of it, so kind of weird. But yeah, I chose another material, but this is what the inner sleeve looks like, kind of a purple vinyl, but it's not a vinyl, of course. The idea of vinyl is great, but another thing that I get bothered with, why a sleeve here for, and then instead of CD. It's kind of loose in it as well, as you guys can hear. So I kind of find it kind of weird. But over to the band. The band itself is a hardcore punk band, and have really fun, a really weird tradition with heavy metal in there as well. This definitely has the hardcore punk sound vibe and the vocals, but the guitarists are definitely heavy metal, and that's what this band makes so interesting. They are different than other bands, and they mixed up the genres, and which is a really interesting listen. Yeah, but I really love what I heard, and it's a thing you have to get used to, especially with the vocal delivery. It's weird in a way, but it's definitely a nice adventure. And I was really surprised Relapse Record reissued this thing, because this is not a band that everybody knows. This is definitely a thing from way back, so it's really interesting So if you want to hear something different, hardcore punk mixed with heavy metal, then this is kind of interesting listen. I won't guarantee you if you like it straight away. It's a thing you have to absorb a bit. But it's a kind of weird thing. I don't know if this is a really looks like sea sucking. I don't know, but could be that. And if I get flagged for it, it happens. Anyways, G.I.S.M, go check him out if you're not familiar with these guys yet. Yeah, it's an interesting listen. Over to the last CD or CDs, I have to say. It's a double disc set. This is Beyond the Past, live in London with the Platinum Anniversary Orchestra. This is of course a Mono. Mono is a post-rock band from Japan. Really long active as well. Most of their music is instrumental. I think only one song on this release has vocals. But it's really atmospheric music. If you are familiar with post-rock, then you know what to expect. You know, the soft, melancholic feel with here and there some outburst of heavy, bombastic music. It resembles a bit like ambient music meets rock music, you know, that contrast. But it's a really interesting band. By accident, I got this release actually when I ordered it. I ordered it actually another release, but I'm not really bummed by it because it's a fantastic recording. It's a live recording with an orchestra, which it makes it even more interesting. It's more atmosphere, more really nice contrasts, and I really love what they have done here with this release. Fantastic. I would love to see video footage of that. That would be really interesting. I think there's not a DVD with it, so that's a bit of bummer. But yeah, really interesting listen. You can see orchestra pieces. That's how it looks. So it really looks interesting, and the back is one big piece as well here. So it's really cool. Double disc sets, and the CDs are in pockets. So, and it looks like, so you know, the music notes and things on paper, you know how it looks. And this is the other CD, and it comes with a mega thick booklet. It's really well taken care of. Really, this awesome stuff, and it's really well taken care of. Really beautiful pictures in here as well. And if you want to hear some really atmospheric music, guys, go check out this band. Most of the releases are phenomenal. I definitely need to pick up more from these guys and girl. I think there's a girl in here. Awesome stuff. And just a few pictures more, and then I will quit. Otherwise, it takes too long to go to the booklet. If you guys can see, this booklet is really mega thick, so I'm not gonna show you every picture, but you get an idea how it looks. So yeah, awesome release. Definitely recommended band Mono. If you're not familiar with them yet, go do so, because this is phenomenal stuff. And the last one is a DVD I bought. Since I'm going to the Babymetal gig, I decided to pick up some more Babymetal. To get me more familiarized with their live performances, the music, and etc. etc. So I bought one of the first DVDs they released. This is live in London. This is from 2015, I think. Recorded in 2014, where they're still really young. I think some of the members, I think Yui and MOA were around 14, 15 years old at the period, so they were still really young. So did I say it right? 15, I think they were. And of course, Su Metal is a bit older, but yeah, this is a double disc set from 2 gigs they did in London. One of the first gigs in the tour and one of the last gigs in the tour. So you can really see the contrast. First concert was at the Forum in July 7th, 2014. Really impressed me, especially the reaction of the audience towards the bands, the show the band gave. Also the room member, the Academy band got with the solo parts and stuff like that. It really impressed me. A lot of old tracks, but that's logical. I think they had one album out or something like that. So, and the second disc is from November 8th in 2014. So a month later, is one of the last gig of that tour. I think they did a couple of English gigs and there were a few other gigs as well. A few in Japan, I think. A few one in Germany, I think. I don't know what they call. Maybe it's in the booklet. Maybe I can show you. Maybe not. Maybe I can show you guys if it's in here. Yeah, there it is. USA, Canada, Germany, France, London, and Japan. There were 4 gigs in Japan, 3 in the UK, 3 yes, 1 in Germany, 1 in France, 1 in Canada, and 2 in the US. So this was the tour schedule. Maybe you can look at it more closely if you want to. The rest of the booklets, really nice picture here. The second gig was quite more bigger. It was in the Brixton Academy, so that was a bit more people, but really cool to see how the band grew and how they get so routines, let's put it that way. You definitely can see they did the other gig that they did a lot of more shows, and yeah, the discs, by the way, disc 1 and 2, and yeah, fantastic. And the track listing is on the both concert the same, so that didn't change. So but they really got tight, and it sounds really great. It pretty impressed me. I wasn't expecting that, but I'm really looking forward to the gig I go to in December. We're gonna see them in Tilburg in 013, which is a venue that holds like 3,000 people or something like that, so it's not really small either. Yeah, fantastic. Definitely need more live material from these girls. They have now the 4 albums, 3 regular albums and 1 box set version of 1 album. It is DVD, and also got a record coming on my way. I've bought the record version of the other one. Definitely looking forward to get that one in, and I bought a t-shirt. So there will be more Babymetal in the future, in the updates probably. But yeah, I'm looking forward to looking to more material from these girls. Just have watched also some YouTube stuff from the last tour they're doing now, so I'm really intrigued, and it looks fantastic. So anyways, Babymetal live in London, really nice watch. Yeah, to see, and especially in comparison with how they are now and how they were back then. So it's really cool. So that's all the stuff I have for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's a bit lengthy one, but yeah, some topics got more to talk about. So hope you enjoyed it, guys. I will leave the releases in the description so you can look them up, what I all talked about. And hope to see you guys with the next video. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And matane. Thank you.